Okay, well, for those of you working over on the pond, we might as well just stay here and do a quick safety, which is, I think, most, other than maybe the carpenters, pretty much. So for safety back there, the big thing is just, you know, obviously a lot of lifting and swinging things around. So just never standing on the bottom side of the rocks, even when they're rigged up, and when we first set them, just we'll make sure everything's stable before we ever stand on the lower side. So just staying on the upper side the whole time. Anytime we're setting them, just getting up. Once we swing them in and they're really close to position, then just taking the straps off from the top side. Just never standing below. If they ever took a roll, there's no chance. There's no getting out of the way. So that's the main thing. And obviously pinch points, we want to make sure fingers are clear, and you got to stay out of the way of the pry bars. You don't put your head in front of it, otherwise you end up with a good knock in the head like I did yesterday. Those pry bars don't, they're not very forgiving. We're gonna have two crews working, and when one crew is gonna swing a stone in, it's really important that if there's a crew across from you, that you also warn them, because their backs to you. So that's going to be the most important thing, is just really make sure that everybody clears each time there's a boulder coming over the side. So warn the people that are working in the other group. I think that's the thing that I want to talk about the most, because it's pretty easy to get hyper focused on one side and somebody's doing something on the back. So just really being mindful of the other group would be the key. I think that's probably the biggest risk of the day that we're going to face back there. All right.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Day and go straight.
I'll show you. So we left this bare, so
yeah, this morning we're continuing on with our pond and waterfall construction. We started yesterday on the main part of our waterfall, which we got done. It's almost ready for plumbing now, so we're just kind of filling in all the rock in the rest of the pond.
it's gonna be one pipe going to 8 outlets. That's gonna drizzle down here, and then we're gonna keep building this up, and then to cover up the piping, we're gonna put another stone here or here that shoots out here, so it kind of looks like a natural overtop, like kind of pull up. So it'll be completely covered where the water's coming out. So there will be another stone here eventually.
It looks good. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, which one's going in next?
Then once the bases are both in, we'll put all the plumbing in. We'll run them. Make sure that we like the way the water's running.
Where it's going,
and then we'll cap that all off. Build it all in.
Okay.
Thanks.
Kyle, you want to get on a skid steer?
Yeah.
Bring in some of the bigger stones around.
Yeah.
Even if you see some of the bigger, rounder ones
Pull
in our
from
piles.
Yeah.
Start bringing them a little closer. Leave them a little spread out so we see what we're working with. You can see what we did yesterday. We really spread out our stones over there.
Okay.
So you can even grab some that are blocking another one.
Yeah.
Bring a few of them over.
Okay. Anything?
There's one skid steer back here, and there's one over there.
It's kind of bigger, blockier type pieces, like more square cubical stone, like that back there.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now we're just getting a couple big stones brought over. We're just shaping up the base of the waterfall that we're building on this end. There's basically two main water features on either end of the koi pond. This end's a little bit smaller waterfall, and on the other side it's a little bit bigger, more pronounced. It's going to be a little bit more water, more flow. So right now we're just bringing a couple big stones over, and then we're going to place those in, and then we're going to kind of get a little bit more handwork. It gets a little more finicky as you start to close in the smaller gaps. But right now we're just kind of putting in big boulders, and then as we have a little bit of time with the crew, we're kind of filling in the gaps with smaller pieces as we go. That's looking really good. Come back this way. You're sitting on the rock. Come up a bit. Come back to me now. When all the water gets in, it's nice to have a couple of really interesting rocks kind of protruding out. It really kind of adds to the look, but it gives it a lot more dimension to the water. When you're looking into the water and you can see the rocks coming out, kind of draws the eye down into the water, and that way it's just a lot more interesting to look at. Just come over this way a bit more. Look at this. Look at this. Just a sec. I just want to, we'll just roll that one back off. I think it's going to get in the way. Well, actually, hold up. Let's see. Can you pull back in and set this side on that one? Kind of put the weight on there and then let it drop in. Yeah, we'll build a couple rocks up in front of it to make it safer. Don't anyone stand in front of that till we put some big boulders in front. But yeah, you're good there. Heads up, guys. Just got a big one coming in. Yeah, working on the pond today went incredibly well. We got way more done actually than I was thinking. We ended up getting 2 excavators going, which was really good. We were kind of building 2 sides up at once, so we've got most of the big rock in right now. We just have the big waterfall left. So right now we're just doing a lot of the fine tuning, putting the smaller rocks in, kind of doing all the infill work, and just covering the whole floor as we go. Just because as we're going, we're kind of finishing some of the other work around the edges. We're just trying to work from one end to the other.
How much opening do you need to let? So we'll just start out in all the same places as yesterday, and then we're gonna, on the waterfall, we're gonna really just kind of work on getting that back waterfall all built up. We're gonna get all the stones set back there, and we'll probably really work a lot on filling in all the gaps on the walls. So just kind of continuing what we were doing, kind of going around finding all the bare spots and doing some infill. Finish covering the floor with stone. There's a couple of areas by the smaller waterfall that still need to get filled up. So we'll get that all taken care of, and then back in that area, we'll also try to do like a good cleanup. It's gotten a little scattered. There's like kind of stuff everywhere. I think if we do a good cleanup as we go today, that'll be good as well. Start to get that area tightened up a little bit, and ideally we'll get that waterfall all put together. Good.
Yep.
All right, let's hit it.
Okay.
So the two pieces that we've got, one is going to fit right in here, and then the bigger one we're going to put in here, and it's going to need a couple pieces. What we're going to do is get this base set, and then we're going to bring in another layer that sort of overhangs it, which are those other bigger pieces. Either one. Yeah, we want to drop it in right here. Yeah. Yeah, vertically. You're good there. Yeah. So once we get this one in here, then we're going to put the big one up, the bigger one, the second one in here. Then we'll just piece in a couple of smaller chunks. So we'll have to get, I noticed there's quite a few small ones that got mixed into this pile, and there's still some small pieces out back. We'll just get those in, kind of get this face wall covered. Then we're going to bring in some of those longer ones that are laid out over there on by the treehouse. We'll probably put 2 of those big ones in here. Then we're going to start doing more mortar work, because this whole, every gap here is going to be mortared completely tight, right? You could, yeah. I think kind of like what we did over there. Every gap in here is going to be like really packed, because when this starts running, we can't have any water go in between anything. It has to all flow over rock, so everything's got to be solid.
From that edge to that edge.
Basically, like right from this rock to this rock, we want like completely mortared so that all the water stays up on the surface. Because what happens otherwise is it just all disappears, and then all you have is a pile of rocks, right? Take that one first, Jake. Why don't you grab the next stone there, Jake? You could probably put like a rock, something like this, in the bottom. Would be fine as a filler, and then that'll get us up a little bit higher, because we won't see that anyways. The water meter, so that we'll pump it up here. As we put these rocks in right in front of the waterfall, what we have to do is fill all of these voids in here up solid with mortar, and this way, when the water's coming off the waterfall, it's staying up on the surface of the stone, which gives us a much nicer looking waterfall. Whereas if we didn't fill all the voids, what would happen is the water would just kind of seep in between all the rocks, and we wouldn't get much water on top of the rocks, so the waterfall wouldn't look very good. So I'm just sizing up all the stones. We're just building the upper section of the waterfall next, and then we're going to kind of bring the lower and the upper together. about 3 inches below the top of the concrete. So generally, like everything up to the height you're standing on, roughly needs to be filled. So if you kind of think like down here, what we want to do though is we want to get rock on the surface, stuff like this, fit in, so it just looks, and we'll kind of be fussier about the way that looks. So might want to chisel up a bit of stuff, like take that, and what we want to make it look really natural, because what's going to happen when the water comes out, some's going to come down here, we want some to kind of come over. So probably bring it up to about your feet height, kind of, which is, you know, just below this, and then it can taper down slowly. Yeah. Okay.
Right now we're filling all the gaps in the cracks of the rock with mortar, so none of the water leaks out of our waterfall. We are leaving some gaps though for our potted plants, just because some of the aquatic plants that we're putting in need to stay in their pots. They can't just be free growing. So there goes a boulder. So we're leaving some gaps in the rocks for the fish and for the plants, so that'll be cool. But you can see over here how they're throwing all the mortar down into the cracks. You can kind of see it on our 2 main waterfall rocks there.
We decided to cook a steak dinner for lunch today, just as appreciation for the team. They've been working incredibly hard. It's been a hot few weeks. Everybody's put 110% in, and it was a perfect day to have a barbecue. All right. Right here. And just give us a little tap.
Yeah, today was really good. We got a lot of progress on the pond and waterfall. So yeah, it's definitely a really productive day, and definitely really awesome to get a lot more work done on the pond. I'm not sure if the plywood goes a little deep.
With this one, put it higher. That's gonna be.
It's a nice looking stone.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be bottom layer. Yeah. But it's gonna be hard to find one that's thin. So we'll pull it up, I think. Just place it higher.
What we want to do, and you guys already kind of have it this way. See how this is higher?
Yeah.
That forces this to cool. So what we do on the points of exit, like this height and that height, this should be perfectly level with that one. So you might want to get a laser and just laser this height and the one that goes between those two, and then what that does is back up the water perfect, and we get equal flow out of the two.
And then what about here? Are we gonna have to try and do the same, or mortar it fully?
Exactly what we do here. We just get the mortar up to that height.
Okay.
And then what ends up happening is we get some water coming over here the same. Then we're gonna drive some water up the back. So we're gonna seal that back corner so we get a higher pool. And then what we're gonna do is force this water to come over this rock. So we'll probably end up putting a thinner piece or a boulder or something in here and mortaring it up to redirect so we get water off of here. So just try to picture getting a pool going everywhere.
So we'll leave it slow like that.
Yeah, it looks good like that.
After break, we can bring the laser.
We'll put, what we're gonna do is we've got the small gravel coming, and you just kind of sprinkle that in, and then it looks like a natural bottom. Same all through here, like we'll be filling in all the little spots with that. So this is, you guys are
spot on here. You don't need to be any fussier than that.
So after the breakdown, I'll rake out the concrete joints more.
That's
set
it.
as-
Yeah, just rake them back. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah. Good.
Awesome.
We can bring the laser over too and then set those.
Yeah, we'll set those.
Should we
three.
set it from the middle and then build up?
Yeah, this one's already in, so as long as we get the same height over here, same height here, then back here we want to just check the elevation. We'll probably seal right up to the top edge of this spine rock here,
Yeah.
so that we create a pool here.
Cool.
And then when that water starts coming over here, I think we're just going to need to put something in here just to redirect it this way, because we want to get a nice sheet coming down here. And then this little pocket here, we got to rock in just the same kind of way. But yeah, it's looking good.
You gotta make sure that like things look good, right? Like it just. There was. I was very specific. I said that we're going to cover up the perimeter, and we're going to use chunks of stone that match, and we're going to slide them down, and we're not filling all these voids up with round stones. I said that over here. If you don't know what I'm saying, then you have to say, what do you mean? Can you show me? But don't just say yeah, because that's what you're doing all the time, is this yeah thing, and then I walk away and I come back, and you guys just wasted like 3 hours doing nothing. We have to rip everything out. Like, if you don't know what I'm asking for, make sure that you ask. Make sure that you say, I don't know what you mean, because otherwise, I assume you do. That's communication. It's your job to say, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, after we put all of our big boulders in, my dad left for the afternoon to do a webinar, and before he left, he told me to put our flatter slabs and then slide them down along the concrete to kind of gap the bridges of where our concrete was showing in our rocks, but I must have took it the wrong way, or there was a miscommunication somewhere there. And I started putting the big boulders and stacking them kind of in the tinier ones, which obviously doesn't look good. I wasn't too sure how it was supposed to come together, so it was kind of guesswork, which obviously isn't the kind of quality we want to be doing, but I really wasn't just thinking about it thoroughly enough, and we put all the small boulders up, and then as we were doing it, I didn't really think it looked right, but when he got back, he was like, yeah, that's not what I told you to do at all. So we ended up taking it out, but it was like 2 hours wasted of work just because I wasn't really paying attention to the fullest when I should have. But it was really easy to fix. Took us like 10 minutes to take it all out, and then we ended up putting our big flat slabs in there, which looked 10 times better. So definitely good that we caught that before all the water went in, but definitely good to know for next time to really double check if I'm unsure, especially when it's something that detail orientated. It has to be perfect, including everything else. So really just got to make sure to next time to double check how the work needs to be done, and then the quality standard of it. So really that was a bit of miscommunication, but majorly my issue, my fault, just due to not really paying attention to the situation on hand. It's a little easier to just get on the point and bang it instead of like trying to aim it.
Also, it'll look better if it's broken,
Not a straight cut, because we're trying to keep it
natural.
Yeah, we're just working on our second waterfall right now. So before we do our top stones to cover everything up and get our finishing stones on, I'm gonna put our pipes in place beforehand, because when we put our capstone over top, we won't be able to have access to where I wanna put the pipes in for the plumbing. So we're gonna put them in first and trim them back, and then put our finishing stones on.
And then we're hitting here, but I don't think we're set.
No, that's okay. I just have a wedge there. Yeah, so next up we're gonna get the they're like 8 to 12 inch type pieces.
Yeah.
And I want to slot them in here, kind of like a continuation of this.
Yeah.
And then the water is going to actually run out of a small crevasse underneath. So we're going to kind of build up top, and we're going to put a couple spacers in down below.
So are we gonna have to have one long shelf one across the top there? 'Cause
Yeah,
we don't want a spacer in the middle, right?
Yeah, we'll start with one kind of like the one you're sitting on that's coming over.
Yeah.
We'll start by getting that in, and then we'll work up around it with some smaller pieces. We'll probably have to make a few cuts here because this is going to get kind of tight. But we'll start back in and kind of work our way forward.
Okay.
So it kind of just looks like water's running more or less right out over this rock.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually leave the voids here and here, and then we're going to create some flow interruptions in the back that get the water to run over here as well, because we kind of want like even coverage on this rock. We don't want it to, you know, all pour out one side or the other.
Yeah.
So we'll get a little fussier here. It'll move a little bit slower, but this will make all the difference. Yeah, the right side's just not working.
It's just something's going on there.
Yeah.
I think we just have to go with all that shelfy kind of rock. We can't use those two looking bouldery ones.
Now the problem is we're getting light on selection.
I know. That's what I was saying yesterday when.
Just gotta stand back and look at what we have in the pit. We might have to take something out. Let's just clear this stuff off here.
Yeah.
I think what we'll do is drop a. I'll pass you this one, Jake. Just set it down behind you in case we want to use it. Yeah, we had a couple of missed attempts at the waterfall here. We were kind of short on rock. We really probably should have done this before we started finishing up some of the other edges. We ended up short on stone, so we started building on top of something that was probably never going to work, and decided just to restart. Took out what we had started, moved a few boulders around, stole a boulder from somewhere else, put that in first, and cut our capstone down, and ended up with something that we're really happy with. But never fails getting on the end of a job. The last step is always the hardest step. So typical day.
How big?
I got a couple bigger ones.
Plant in all these crevices, all some.
And then
Marginal
we've left
and
cracks in some rocks to put the aquatic plant pots in there.
You got a happy client here?
I hope.
It looks great. I can't wait. I can picture the water and the plants perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. My name is Jana Bradley. I'm Jake's mom. I'm helping Jake out with a little bit of the back office stuff, where I can on the admin, getting things organized. Really looking forward to seeing how the team grows and watching the skills of the guys and Jake grow and the different equipment and skills that they're all learning, and hoping I can help out where I can in the background. And there's always lots of admin on the backside and showing them that side of the business as well. Well, I'm excited to have the landscape refreshed. It's about a 20-year-old landscape, and there's some things that I've always had on my wish list. So some of these ideas have been incorporated into the show garden, and it's coming along so well, and my core passion in it is the plants and all of the design work and the colors and textures that come together. So I'm very excited actually to see it come together.
Well, we'll see. We can plan around it. Once we're full with water, leave it for a couple weeks and then do a test. You can just buy it off Amazon.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Love it.
Yeah, this week was our final pond construction install, so it was really good to get all of our boulders and all the rough plumbing in. We haven't finalized our plumbing just in case we need to change anything, but all of our rocks are final and all the mortaring. So we have a really gorgeous setup. Can't wait for the water to get in, but we started off the week by building our secondary waterfall, the smaller out of the two. So we got some big rocks in, mortared them in, put some smaller ones in to kind of test out how the big one would go. And then we built on from there. So we built from the bottom up of the pond, placing big boulders in first and then our fill smaller ones in. So we went around the full bottom layer, put our big boulders in, and then the top layer putting our big boulders in. And then we filled in all the gaps with the concrete still showing on the walls with some flatter stones or chunkier stones. And slowly filled in all our concrete gaps, and then filled the floor with all of our river stones and our chunked up kind of shaly stone also. And then we moved on to our big secondary, or the first waterfall there, which is quite sizable. We have 4 pumps running to that one, so there's going to be quite a bit of water coming out of it at all times, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be really add to the ambiance of the whole show garden with the water sounds and just the look of it, obviously. So definitely really excited to get all the final plumbing hooked up and then have everything running. But yeah, it was definitely really interesting to see how the whole process went. It went pretty smoothly. A couple little hookups on my part that we fixed quick, but whole install went really well, and it's definitely good to do some more on-the-job training with the guys on how we're gonna do this in the future, and plumbing and the masonry work even. So definitely super productive week, and there's really not too much work left on our pond. It's just a little bit of gravel and then our final plumbing, obviously, and good to fill it up with water. But yeah, it was definitely a super productive week. The carpenters were doing a really nice job on the deck. And then we had the maintenance guys going around the shop, which was really good to get some more cleanup going. So definitely a super great week to get all the pond work done, and definitely looking forward to finishing it off next week. We see a little hole, and I'm going to fill it with one of these rocks. This is going to be a very handy like thing, you know what I mean? It's just like, whoa. Alright. Let's choose the rock.